Hello and a warm welcome to the program. I'm Melinda Kinlami. Our focus is on the South today, so let's begin in Edo State, where public schools across the 18 local government areas are set to receive an upgrade, even as books and other learning aids provided by the federal government before Governor Monday Okpebholo's assumption of office are to be distributed amongst the pupils. The governor made the pledge at the New Era College in Benin City, the state capital. Meanwhile, the State Universal Basic Education Board, Edo State, has awarded the role of an ambassador to the 2024 overall best graduate from the University of Benin. Our correspondent, Jessica Oluwusere, has this report.
On their visit to New Era College in Benin City, the Edo State capital, Edo State Governor Monday Okpebholo and some top government officials, including the chairman of SUBEB, Edo State, Padi Yamu, first take a tour of this storage unit for textbooks and other study materials said to have been donated by the federal government.
The then government said, since the face of the president is there, no Edo child should use it. So it was hoarded, and upon assumption of office, His Excellency was briefed, and he said all Edo children must benefit from the kind gesture of Mr. President. And he gave a marching order that all the books be brought out for the use of every Edo child.
The governor is concerned that the materials are yet to be distributed to pupils.
Because of the wickedness of our former governor, he said that these books will not be distributed to schools. For me, it is wrong. Today, the APC is here, and we are here to distribute these books to the school children.
Governor Okpebholo and his team thereafter moved through the dilapidated structures meant to be classrooms. The governor does not hold back his dissatisfaction with the condition of the school.
We are coming back here to renovate and rebuild this school. In the next few weeks, you will start seeing a lot of transformation here.
Away from New Era College, the chairman of SUBEB holds a brief ceremony in his office to award the role of an ambassador for SUBEB to the overall best students of the University of Benin's graduating class of 2024, James Allen, who achieved a 4.98 CGPA in petroleum engineering.
On this day, we want to make you our ambassador. So that you can be a beacon of hope to those who are struggling at the moment to pay school fees or to get out of the university, that there is hope for them.
James, who joyfully accepts the role, subsequently shares stories of his struggles in getting his degree.
I've been focused, intentional about this goal because I grew up from a poor background, humble background, right? And I never thought this ceremony will ever take place in my life. So I'm grateful to the superb chairman, Dr. Padi Emmanuel.
The Edo SUBEB believes the award, apart from celebrating Allen, would encourage other young Nigerians to be focused in spite of the challenges around. Jessica Oluwusere, Channels Television News.
The Hydrocarbon Pollution Remediation Project, HYPREP, has organized a livelihood training workshop for school children in Ogoni land, aiming to equip them with practical skills for the holidays. The event, held in Kana local government area, brought together students from 13 schools across the 4 Ogoni local government areas. Our correspondent, Deborah Agbalama, has this report.
This program, This initiative, which is part of HYPREP's Sustainable Livelihood Program, focuses on catching them young by instilling practical skills and self-reliance in children. The workshop features the training of students on skills in areas such as making of soaps and detergent to keep them productive during the holiday.
When we finish that one, then you will now take this one into your, we'll give you some containers, we'll give you maybe 1 or 2 bottles. Take back to your school.
Speaking at the event, Josephine Inzide, HYPREP's head of sustainable livelihood, emphasizes the importance of mentoring young minds early to prepare them for meaningful activities and discourage negative influences.
Today we also have a facilitator that is going to teach you how to make petroleum jelly and also teach you how to make liquid soap. We are also going to be giving to all the schools that are present for this activity to start their own business. So we're not just going to train you, because That is what HyPrep does. We not just train you, we sustain the trainings that we give to you.
Guest speaker Ayede Henry highlights the values of discipline, tolerance and respect, urging the students to apply these virtues alongside their newly acquired skills.
If we stay committed and we stay focused in the direction of making that happen. And every Nigerian has a role to play, just like you are seated down here, you have a role to play. You all have career goals, true of us. You all have career goals, but you must develop the right mindsets to be able to achieve those goals.
Some of the beneficiaries speak on the impression of the skills training.
What they are teaching us is very good. Like the one that they told us there that they are teaching us about liquid soap, very good. It's so good for us as a youth to engage ourselves in little activities in the society.
By the inclusion of skills acquisition and mentorship into its restoration of livelihood programs, HyPrep says this would create a brighter future for Ogoni young minds while promoting sustainable livelihood practices in the communities. Deborah Abalama, Channels Television News.
From education to infrastructure, the governor of Delta State, Oborevwori, is taking advantage of the dry season to ensure ongoing projects are completed and meet the required standards. The governor, alongside members of his team, inspected various projects, including bridge constructions, road, and the stormwater drainage systems. This proactive step is part of his administration's commitment to provide flood control and quality road infrastructure to enhance the development of Delta State.
Governor Sheriff Oborevwori continues what is described as his proactive approach to infrastructure development in Delta State, with thorough inspection of major projects across the state. At Sector A of the Uheli-Asaba Road dualization, a vital infrastructure initiative, the governor is taken round by contractors. This project is designed to ease transportation challenges and foster economic growth across the state. However, at the Benekuku Bridge in Kwale, the scenario is different. While the bridge is nearing completion, the governor is not satisfied with the finishing, urging that the contractors improve the quality of work.
Look at all the work. Look at the poor finishing. And I'm not satisfied with the work. We know the bridge is solid, but the aesthetics is really bad. The finishing is very bad. This is not the kind of work I really need. This is not the kind of work debtors need. They've done 95%. They've done with the binding cost, and what is left on the wearing cost is 40%. It's not about even the wearing cost that is the issue now. If you look at the side, look at it. They didn't do good work.
Flooding has been a persistent challenge in Delta State, causing severe damage to homes, businesses and infrastructure. To address this, the governor launched a 20-kilometer storm drainage project on Usubi and surrounding areas. The State Commissioner for Works in charge of rural and riverine roads, Mr. Charles Anyagu, is also on site to assess the progress of the storm drainage project.
We have done a whole lot of analysis of what's going on here, even as they are constructing, for us to make sure that at the end of the day, the water flows very, very freely from the upstream to the downstream. Where you are seeing that is the downstream. Right behind me, you could see the river where we are draining into. So it's something that is going to cover at the first phase. Is actually, like I said, as much as 20 kilometers. You know what that means. And we are hoping that for us to have more effect, that there is need for us to extend the first phase so that we can cover some other areas.
Other projects include road construction in Okpebholo local government area and remedial work along the old Abraka-Eku Road in Ethiop East local government area.
Joining us to discuss more about the infrastructure development in Delta State is the Commissioner for Works, Rural and Riverine Areas, Mr. Charles Anyagu. A pleasure having you with us on the program.
Thank you very much, Melinda. It's nice to be here.
Now, you were one of the team members that embarked on that inspection. We just saw you speak there. But can you tell us more about the infrastructure projects ongoing in Delta State and its expected impact?
Well, thank you. We do not take this privilege for granted. For you to understand what Governor Oborevwori is doing in Delta, you need to take a look at the promises he made on the 29th of May 2023. Specifically, he was clear on the need to continue on ongoing projects and complete them, and then as well as initiate new ones. So that is what he's doing. In the case of some of the bridges he's building, it cuts across the 3 senatorial districts. And the one you showed, which is the Beneku Bridge, where he said he didn't like the aesthetics, is a bridge that connects the people of Ndokwa East and Ndokwa West. And they have been able to complete largely the wearing course, which is the first layer of asphalt, and then remaining the binder, remaining the wearing course, and is hoping that they're able to bring in a level of aesthetics so that the bridge will also look beautiful and then something a sight to behold. And he has directed that the contractor return to site to be able to effect those corrections. And then in the course of that particular inspection, the governor also went through the Ughelli-Asaba Express, which is about 139 kilometers dual carriage, which is also progressing very, very considerably. Now, the one you showed, where I had the privilege of inspecting the storm drainage in Osubi, Okwokoko, and Ugolokbe, is a 20-kilometer drain that is supposed to take away flood water from the surrounding environment, which has been a very major challenge. And that is what the governor is doing across the length and breadth of the 25 local governments, intervening in different areas. Of course, you know of the bridges that he's also building in the Warri Axis. And for the drain, and following that my inspection yesterday, working with the consultant and the contractors as well as the engineers in the ministry, we have seen the need to incorporate some other streets and other areas into the first phase of that construction. I do hope that once I'm able to have the time, I'm privileged to also brief His Excellency because I came back quite late yesterday. We'll be able to plead with him to allow us to extend the scope of work to cover some other areas so that the effect of what we're doing will be felt much more than what we anticipated. But we're happy with the progress of work that is going on there. It's a gigantic project running into billions, and that is the same thing the governor is doing in a number of areas with respect to road construction. So we're quite pleased with what we are doing, where we are. The governor is very much interested in governance at the moment and not politics.
Okay, Mr. Anyanwu, one of the things you mentioned, that's the area you visited, is the storm drainage project, and we know that Delta is a flood-prone state. One of the most obvious projects, which is that storm drainage project. How is this one different from the other ones in the past?
You know, the storm drainages are in different areas. Of course, you cannot undertake all the projects at once. You recall in the last administration, Governor Kowa had a whole lot of storm drainage constructed in the state capital, Asaba, and environs, and Okpanam, and then also initiated some other projects in Warri that is to deflood that particular corridor. These are in phases. But the one that we are doing now in the areas I mentioned, specifically Okwokoko, Ugolokbe, as well as Osubi, is to also address the challenge that they have in that corridor. Over the years, like you rightly pointed out, Delta being a coastal state, experiences this amount of flooding on account of, number one, overflowing of the river Niger, which in turn affects the several tributaries, and also on account of the very heavy rainfall. Due to splash flood, you could still have some of the houses submerged. But the governor had looked at it. It is hindering development in that particular area. And for us to be able to expand development in the Warri and environs axis, we needed to be able to address this challenge, take flood water off through the Abaro River and progress into the Atlantic Ocean. And that is what we are doing. We are quite convinced that once we are able to do that, we would have been able to largely enhance the process of development in that area. Because of the peaceful nature of Delta at the moment, thanks to the different policies of the administration, both the immediate past administration and the present administration, that is paying very, very serious attention to issue of security. We are having a whole lot of large influx of people from across the 35 other states of the Federation and the Capital Territory. And so that is now swelling up the number of persons that are coming into our state. That, of course, leads to some form of population explosion and development. And that means that more people will now have to build to accommodate these individuals who are coming in. And for that kind of development to take place, you need to be able to also expand the areas that are buildable. And for you to have much more buildable areas, you need to address the issues of flood. No thanks to the fact that we are located in the coastal part of this country. And so what the governor is doing, and which is also what he intends to do in a number of other areas, is to address this issue of flood so that homes will be saved from being submerged during the rainy season, and that much more land space will be available for those who are interested in development, either as private developers who want to build their residences, or those who want to also build certain companies. So that's what we are doing. It's different because, just like what you saw in Asaba, it's called a storm drainage. This particular drainage is divided into 3 compartments, Melinda. One will have the sewer, which is almost about 4 kilometers, that will be underground, and at the end of the day will be covered. You may not see it again, except for the manholes. The second compartment is a trapezoidal drain, which is triangle in nature, that borders the Osubi airport. And then the third compartment is the open drains, the surface drains that people will see. But all of them are big enough to accommodate even a vehicle that may want to drive through. You saw me walking through the drain to tell you that it's over 2 meters height. And in terms of width, you can easily arrange your bed, sleep comfortably, because it's about 2.4 meters wide. So 2 meters in terms of height, 2.4 meters in terms of width. So that tells you how huge and gigantic this particular project is.
One can only imagine, Mr. Ayago. A lot to talk about, but I guess we'll bring you back next time on the program to tell us more about
because so much is also being done in the area of human capital development, so that I will be glad if we can come back to talk about what the governor is also doing in enhancing the livelihood of Deltans. But I do appreciate this time.
Thank you so much, Mr. Charles Anyagu, the Commissioner for Works, Rural and Riverine Areas in Delta State. Taking a moment now, when we return, we'll also be looking at infrastructure development in Cross River State, so do stay with us. Thank you for staying with us. The Cross River State government says it has prioritized the improvement of its road network across the 3 senatorial districts in order to enhance connectivity, promote economic growth, and ensure the safety of residents. Speaking during a recent inspection of ongoing road projects in Calabar, the state capital, the Commissioner for Works and Infrastructure, Honorable Ampo Pius, reiterated the state government's unwavering commitment to enhance essential infrastructure like roads, even in the face of financial constraints. According to him, the governor is implementing new approaches to maximize resources and ensure that every investment in road infrastructure aligns with its broader development objectives.
Cross River State, known for its natural beauty and rich cultural heritage, has long struggled with outdated and deteriorating road infrastructure across its 3 senatorial districts. Both motorists and commuters had in the past suffered a great deal plying this route. Located in the southern senatorial district of the state, vehicular movements were almost impossible. Few months into office, Governor Otu embarked on an inspection to have first-hand knowledge of the people's immediate need, and upon seeing this ditch, Governor Otu assured residents of the community of immediate intervention. Months later, the road is ready for use, and the Commissioner for Works assures of its durability and efforts of government to reconstruct drainages.
We want to look at, because we are saying is comparably over like more than 3 to 4 states, some states in the country. So it is with our lean resources of the state, we are really facing a lot in terms of meeting the demands of people infrastructural wise. So, but we are presently in the north as well. Our impact is being felt in Ogoja local government.
Same gestures replicated in the northern senatorial district, where a major road connecting those from the northern part of Nigeria to Calabar, Akwa Ibom, and other eastern parts of the country is being repaired. This is what the Undok Junction now looks like few months after Governor Otu's assurance to fix the road. Residents expressed excitement over the intervention by Governor Otu's administration.
When we see good things like this, we appreciate. We know what the present governor, what he promised us is all this for we Ogoja people. Personally myself, before this time I have done it. I've passed a message to him that it shouldn't be just Ogoja alone. We should at least all the junction like this in Cross River State, let it have a face, because the glory is all going back to him. Because of what I've seen today, the face of this job is just wonderful. So we are very happy, sir.
He also called for the continued support of all Cross Riverians and residents of the O2-led administration, which he affirmed is committed to fulfilling its policies for the betterment of the community.
The security now. The Chief of Naval Staff has expressed confidence in the Navy's ability to tackle any threat to the nation that it may face, especially when it regards maritime environment. Vice Admiral Emmanuel Ogala made this known in the Gulf of Guinea aboard the NNS Kada during his annual sea inspection. Our correspondent Charles Oborevwori has this report.
Aboard the NNS Kada at the naval wing of the Onne port, the Chief of Naval Staff waves the flag, ceremonially kicking off the annual sea inspection exercise. This exercise is codenamed Dein Abaji, which in the local Kalabari dialect translates as calm waters, conceived to improve the capabilities of the personnel.
We are proud to showcase our achievements during this inspection and demonstrate our operational capabilities and readiness to respond to emerging threats. Over the next few days, we will conduct a series of evolutions, namely anti-piracy, anti-crude oil theft and illegal bunkering operations, fleet maneuvers, and emergency drills, as well as amphibious raid exercises, amongst others.
All the vessels taking part in the exercise put out to sea in the Gulf of Guinea, where they engage in various maneuvers and tactical trainings. The CNS explains the essence of some of the exercises while expressing satisfaction with his men's performances.
As you can see, a series of exercises have been lined up. We started with communications exercise, which is to ensure that we are able to communicate effectively. And over 15 ships and helicopters that are involved in this exercise. That particular exercise helps to test our ability to effectively communicate, because they say when you are in battle, if you don't have communication, you don't have anything.
On the second day, Vice Admiral Ogala interacts with his personnel and even shows off his fitness as he engages in a push-up challenge. Some of the exercises include simulating boarding of rogue vessels, firearms training, among others. In total, 15 vessels, 3 helicopters, and over 1,000 personnel partook in exercise Dein Abaji. Charles Oborevwori, Channels Television News.
Meanwhile, in Bayelsa State, the Nigerian Navy Forward Operating Base, Formoso, has reiterated its commitment to the well-being and safety of its host communities. As part of its corporate social responsibility, the base organized a 3-day medical outreach in communities within Brass local government area. Leading the initiative, the commanding officer of FOB Formoso explained that the program aims to provide free healthcare services to residents in remote areas.
As part of the non-kinetic operational mandate of Operation Delta Sanity 4, FOB Formoso medical team is here this morning to conduct a medical rhapsody for the people of Liama community. This event is principally organized to provide access to free medical care for the people of Liama and her neighboring communities as a way of fulfilling our corporate social responsibilities. Those whose cases will not be able to be addressed on the spot, a better time will be arranged for them to be treated properly. This program is organized in such a manner that by what we are doing, it cements our relationship with them, and we're able to get more intelligence to prosecute our operations. I want to use this opportunity to assure our seafarers that the waterways will be very much safe for them during this Yuletide.
Operatives of Okpebholo State Police Command have rescued 5 children who were stolen from their home. The Commissioner of Police, Joseph Eribo, disclosed this to journalists in Uyo, the state capital. He says that the police swarmed into action after receiving a distress call from the mother of the children, which led to the arrest of the suspect, Promise Boniface. The police boss also revealed that one David Nse Emmanuel has been arrested for running a gun factory, while his father, Akpan, and his brothers, who jointly run the business, fled.
On the 14th of November 2024, at about 15:10 hours, the command received a distress call from one woman named Withhead, who reported that 5 of her children had been taken away by an unknown man on a motorcycle. The command operatives immediately swung into action in the company of the villagers from Ubi Akban, Ikot Idim, and Obia Ibiono. The suspect, one Promise Boniface May, was given a hot chase and arrested at Obia Ibiono. The 5 children were rescued on hot and has since reunited with their parents. The motorcycle used by the suspect in committing the crime was also recovered. I want to assure all citizens and residents of Akwa Ibom State that the command will continue to intensify its efforts against crime and stand firm in its duty to protect lives and property. Akwa Ibom remains one of the safest states in the country, and we are determined to ensure it stays that way.
That's the program today. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Melinda Akinlami.